Yo, what is up everyone? So today I'm going to show you how I made this website in React with stock components. So if you've never used stock components before, it's essentially a different way in terms of styling your actual React website, and the best part about it is you don't have to use any sort of CSS classes. So if you hate having to name all of your stuff, thinking about the best practices, stock components is way better in terms of naming things. And let me just showcase you what we're gonna make today. So this is similar to the previous React site I made beforehand, but I refactored a lot of stuff, changed up some of the UI, and pretty much you can see here I got like the hover action right there over here, and then scroll down. Here's like a little type of like testimonial, and each section right here is a reusable component. So I'm gonna show you in just a second, but I can basically print like infinite amount of these and then just change up the data file where I can change up anything right here. And then also you can just see like that. Same thing again, repeats. And then here's just some pricing tab I just want to include. I made this one from scratch, and it's similar to the very first website I made. I just changed up the colors UI to it. And then here's the footer here. And also if I scroll up to the top, it is completely responsive. So boom, we shrink it down, and then we go like this. And then I can scroll down here, go really fast. And then also if I go all the way to the end, and then also I can click, we got the mobile nav right there. And then also when I click it, it switches the pages and closes out at the same time, even if I click on the logo. And then also we're gonna go home, switch the services page. We're on another page here. So we're gonna use React Router 2, boom, like that. And then last but not least, let me inspect it just to show you. And let me zoom out right here. And let me see if I can zoom in, because it's kind of hard to see right now. Let's see, 50% maybe? Oh yeah, so now I'm on iPad, so you can see it fits right there. Let's switch to like Moto G4, which is like super tiny, 360. Everything still looks nice and fitting in here. And then let me switch to like iPhone 5 SE. You can see still everything is nice. And you can go in on the media queries and change the text size too, but I just kept it to what I have, and also, you know, mobile stuff right there. So that's pretty much it. And then you can see the classes, they're all pretty much, they're not class names, they're like, almost, I don't even know how to describe this, but like the random numbers and letters pretty much, or just letters it looks like. And let me show you really quick in the actual code, the reusable component parts. Let me X off this here. So pretty much like this, these are each different components that I created. So if you've seen the previous tutorial, then you already know. But right now, the first three, and that's the pricing. So if I were to go under the pricing tab and just type like copy and paste 6 of them, and then I just refresh, then I just scroll down once it loads, go back. Now you can see I got like 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. Right? So you can go in and place these on any other pages you want to. So let me get rid of this. And then if you don't like the way this looks, you're like, oh, I want to change the color, the background, whatever. I got my little data file here. And then let's go up here to the top. And let me just switch this over here. And let's say you don't like this, let's say this lead generation stuff here. So let me just change this up, and let's just say, hey, I don't like this text. And then let me change the double quote, since I have little apostrophe in there, like this, save it, and boom, hey, I don't like this text. And then let's say you don't like the color, you don't like the background, so you want it to be white instead. So let me just say light background is true, it's gonna turn white. And then that's gonna change the text, and then I have to change the actual text description. So let's see, light text description, let's make that false, save it here. And then that's gonna turn this part different color. Let's say light text, let's change this to false too. Boom, and then bam, now you get the point. And then also the image, I wanna change out the image, I can go like 3 here, save it, and now it's a new image. So that's pretty much what the first that I had, but this time we're doing everything with stock components. So if you watched the first video, then you already know the CSS, but I did refactor a lot of stuff, made it a lot cleaner. So I'll just show you really quick stock components. I organized everything too much cleaner compared to the previous one, but you can see here, this is like way different from typical CSS. So without further ado, let's hop into VS Code and let's get started. All right, so first thing is I'm on my terminal, and we're gonna go ahead and create a React app. So I'm gonna go ahead and type in npx space create dash react dash app, and then let's just call this React website styled components, and then let's put v1 at the end. So press enter, And then once this finishes uploading, I will see you once it's done. Alright, so mine just finished uploading. So I'm gonna go ahead and type in CD and then the name of the file. So I named it react-website-styled components-v1. And then I have yarn. So if you have yarn, then you go ahead and type in this. But wait, let's wait actually and open up VS Code first. And then if you don't have yarn, it's gonna say npm start. So whatever yours says. But for that, let's go ahead and just type in code space dot. So if I have VS Code, so this automatically opens this up for me. And if you have VS Code, then you can do this. I'm not too sure if you can do it with other text editors, but if you don't have that installed, you can just simply quick Google search code space dot, open up VS Code, and it'll just tell you how to implement that. But either way, just open up your VS Code, and now we have this React website open up. So first, let's go ahead and let's test this. So I don't need my terminal because I'm gonna do it inside of VS Code. So shortcut, I'm gonna do Command J, just open up the terminal, or you can even go up here and do it too. But let's go ahead and let's just type in yarn space start. If you don't have yarn, you're gonna say npm start. All right, so go ahead and I'm gonna say yarn start because I have it. Press enter, and then I have this error. So this keeps popping up. If anyone knows how to get rid of this, feel free to comment below. But if you do have this, I gotta go over to the left side, right click, click new file. .env is the name I have to name this. Command V, save it. And then I'm just gonna press the up arrow on the keyboard in my terminal. Brings back when I just typed, which is yarn start. And then I'm gonna run it again. And since I have the website running, it's asking me if I wanna run it again, since I have already one open. If you don't have any React apps open, then it wouldn't show up. And once it finishes it up, perfect. So now we have everything working fine, so we can actually get started editing. So let me go ahead and let's get rid of a bunch of stuff here. So setup test, service worker logo, let's get rid of that. So I'm gonna click on those three with holding shift, and it deletes it like this. And let's get rid of index.css, app.test.css, get rid of this. And we gotta get rid of app.css because we're not using CSS this time. We're using stock components. All right, so we're left now with two files right here. So index, let's get rid of this, and then let's get rid of this line here. 5, let's get rid of index CSS. Let me save this. Let's go to app. Gotta get rid of app.css. Also logo, and then inside of here, let's just say what is up. Save it right there, boom, and all right, perfect. Now we got it going. So now we can actually start editing our files. All right, so I organized mine a little different from the previous tutorial. So if you're watching this, I try to make it much cleaner. So pretty much I'm gonna go to SRC, right click it and click on new folder, and then just type in components. So this is where all my components are gonna be living. And then also I'm gonna eventually wanna have a pages, so I'm gonna go right click, new folder. I'm just gonna call this one pages. And feel free to comment a even better folder structure in the comments too, if you have a different way of doing things. But in the actual comments folder right here, let's right click this and let's create a new folder. Let's just call this, let's just make the navbar for now. So navbar. And then inside of the navbar, I want to create a stock component file, and then also the actual code where we're going to display everything. So I'm just going to right click on navbar, click on new file, and then I'm just going to call it navbar.js. And then I'm going to right click it and new file again. And then I'm just going to call, this is where I'm going to keep all my stock components. So I'm just going to say navbar.elements.js. And now we can go ahead and start editing this. And also another thing I want to do is create an index.js file. So if I click on the navbar, close it, we're still in the components. Right click this, hit new file, and let's just call this index.js. And essentially I want to do this is export it from this file, because when you actually have to import this on your main file, it's going to be ridiculous because you have so many folders nested in. So I just want to make it easier. So it's like, I'm just going to write export curly braces default as navbar from /, and so far we have the navbar folder. And then I'm gonna slash again. I want to import the actual navbar.js, which would just stop as Navbar, and then I'll just save that here. So you won't realize what this actually does until we start importing it into our pages, but you'll see it'll save you way more code versus typing like /navbar, /components, etc. You'll see once we get to that point. But let's go to the actual navbar.js now. And pretty much there is a shortcut to starting creating actual React file. So go ahead, and if you don't have this extension, click on this extension icon right here and just type in ES7, and boom, it saves your life. This one right here. And then also, so we're using style components. Let's see if I can type in style components, and this one right here, I have this one installed too, because if you don't, it might not show you the like different colors, and it might look really weird. So have this one installed as well, since we're here already. That way you can make sure you don't go crazy trying to follow me and yours looks different. And once you install those two, we should be set to go. And let me just make this back here. And go ahead, once you install the ES7 React shortcut plugin, you can go with RAFCE, press enter, and boom, now we have this entire function, arrow function created for us, which literally is the easiest thing we've ever done just by typing that in. Let's go ahead and let me show you essentially how this is gonna work. So pretty much, normally in the actual code, for instance, let me make these fragments for now first. You'd have like your nav, right? And then you press tab, and then whatever you have inside of here. But in terms of stock components, it's completely different, because you would basically go like this and say const, and then I would just call it whatever I want to name it. So for instance, I can name this like nav. You can name it navbar, whatever you want, but I'm gonna use nav, and I'm gonna say equal to styled dot, and then you say whatever the actual HTML tag would be. So this one is an actual nav tag. So if you have like a div, you'd say div. You have an h1, you have h1, li, ul, etc. So I'm gonna say an actual nav, and then you do the backticks, 2 backticks, and then go inside of it. And then this is where you actually start typing out the code. So if I say, for instance, like background, and this is the one I have right here, so it'll be 101522. And then also, let's just go ahead and write out this stuff. So height, 80 pixels, display, want it to be flex, and then just like content will be center, and then also align items to be centered. And let's do font size equal to 1.2 rem. And then position, let's do it to be sticky, and then top to 0, and then z index to be, I just put, not this one, 999, so it's going crazy above everything else. Now when you actually add this to your JSX here, you would straight up say whatever you named it. So it's going to be nav like this. And then eventually I'll show you how to pass in props and like special types, like if you know ternary operators, like if I hover over it and all that. And it's very similar to Sass. So if I were to have like a and colon hover, and that can pass in like, I don't know, color red. So when I hover over it, it would be whatever that is. And it's nested inside of here, instead of me having to type out like nav again. But for now, let's keep it like this. And then what we're gonna do is actually bring this into the navbar elements file. And let's go ahead and let me Command X this, and then go to navbar elements. And then all we need to do on the navbar elements is, one, we actually have to install stock components too, but let's just paste this in for now. And then we have to make sure we export it. So I'm gonna say export const, and then let's go to the front of it, enter, and then let's say import styled from style-components. Now we don't have this actually installed, so I brought up the docs here, and pretty much you have npm install, you'd say this line, but I got yarn. So what I'm gonna do is, let me do Control C so it stops it, and then just say, I'm gonna say yarn add style-components. You would say this if you have npm install, and then once this loads, we are pretty much good to go with this. And then also we're gonna install React Router eventually, but I'll just wait till we get to that point. So right now, if I refresh this, it should be off because I closed it. So I'm gonna bring mine back up. So I'm gonna say yarn starts, and yeah. So let me just press enter here. Yours would be npm start if you don't have yarn. And let me save. Yeah, so it's running here. So yeah, enter here, and then let me save this, and then also let me go here and let me save this. So right now we should see nothing because we have to import this style into the actual code. So right now let me put let me just do this for right now, and let's just put like just random word here for now. Save it, and then what I need to do is go here and I have to import whatever we just created. So I'm gonna say imports curly braces nav, which is what we're calling this, and then once we create some more stock components, you'll see how this makes more sense. And then it's from the file, so quotes.slash, and I'm gonna go into navbar.elements. I'm gonna save that here. And right now you can't see anything. So I'm gonna go to the app.js file and let's just plug in this navbar here. So let's say navbar, and I'm gonna do control space, and it's being slow right now, my computer, so I'm just gonna manually import this. And I'm just gonna go ahead and import it as curly brace, and I'm gonna say navbar from // components. And then if I save this, this shows us our navbar. You can see the word test is right there. And you're probably wondering, how does this make sense? Because we had it nested inside of another folder, and that's because of our index.js file where I export it as default like this. So instead of me having to do some crazy like // all that just makes it way cleaner. And then also eventually we're gonna import the footer, so I can literally just comment and say footer like this in one line instead of having like 20 lines of import footer, etc. And it's just much cleaner in my opinion. Feel free to comment other ways that are much cleaner too. But now we can see that this stock component is actually working. So now, for instance, if I change the background to red, it would change to red. So it's just like CSS styling, except everything's within this, and then you can name this pretty much whatever you want to. So let's actually start editing this more so that we can actually get some stuff going on. So I'm gonna go back to the navbar now, and then let me just take this out because I don't need this. I'm gonna press enter, and I want to do now is create a navbar container. So let's just say I'm gonna straight up put it in here, navbar container. That's what I'm naming it as. And then when I go into the actual elements, we'll edit this. So now we have to import this to here, so navbar container. And then I'm gonna save this as, oh, actually I need a comma here. Save this. I'm gonna say navbar container is not exported, which means we gotta go to navbar elements, and then we gotta go ahead and actually add the styles to it. So if you're like, this is way different from CSS, don't worry, once you get used to it, you'll start to see it. But pretty much now, I'm gonna say exports, const, navbar, container, and set that equal to styled. And this is a cool way to actually target something specific. Instead of targeting like an actual tag, I can target an actual stock component as well. And also for like React Router links, you can just say straight up target the link like this too. So I'm gonna create another thing called container, and I'm gonna put this on a global style page. And then we'll be able to actually reuse this in multiple places. So I'm gonna say display, flex, justify, content, space between, and then also let's do height of 80 pixels. And then at the bottom, I want to get the other values from container. So I'm just gonna $, parentheses, container. And right now, container doesn't exist. So if I save this, nothing's gonna happen, but it's gonna say container is not defined. So this is how I'm gonna create this. I'm gonna basically create a global style page. So I'm gonna go to src, right click, new file. I'm just gonna call this globalstyles.js. Now, if you have a better way of creating this container, feel free to let me know. But I was trying to read the docs and there wasn't really much outside of just the global style section. So I just improvised with this, and it worked out. But feel free to comment below if you know any better way alternatives. So for the global styles, think of this as like the main CSS file where it just reaches any page globally. So let's say import styled, and then also I want to import create global style from style-components. So now I'm going to create a constant, call it global style, set this equal to create global style. And this is straight from the docs. So if you haven't read the docs yet, you're like, what am I writing? Then you can check it out. And then this way I'm just going to target it with the little multiplication, little shift 8 sign. And then we're just gonna add in the typical box sizing that you see probably on every video. So border dash box, let's do margin 0. And then let's do padding to be 0. And the font family, I want this to become Source Sans Pro, comma, Sans Serif. So we don't have this font actually added yet, but we'll see. So now I have this one created. So now I'm gonna go outside of this, and then let me create the container. So let's go export const. And also I want to export, let me go here at the bottom too let's just do export default global style here. But now let's go back to export const, and then just create my container here. So I'm gonna say container, because I'm gonna use this on the other section as well, not just the navbar. So that equal to styled. And I want this to be a div. So I'm gonna say div and then the backticks here. And then pretty much we just add in our CSS. So cindex of 1. Let's do a width of 100%. Max width, I want that to be 1300 pixels. Let's do margin dash right. Set that to auto. We can do margin dash left. Set it to auto. And I shouldn't put enter here. And now under that one, we can do padding dash right, set that one to 50 pixels, and then padding dash left, set it to 50 pixels. And this is a cooler trick too with stock components, is similar to Sass. I can just straight up do the media query inside of this the backtick. So I can just straight up say at media screen and max dash width 991 pixels. And I can just straight up pad my stuff here. So let me just copy this 2 lines right here. And let's just change that to 30 pixels. And now it automatically will update on here. And then since we're here already, let's go ahead and just create our button too. So we can just go in and do this. But let me save it first. And this should not work yet because I haven't imported this. So actually, yeah, let me go back to the button. We'll go back later. But in the actual navbar now, I need to import this into navbar.js file. So it's saying containers not defined. Well, because we don't have it anywhere. So I'm going to say imports, and then it's named import, so button from, and we're from what? See, so we go outside the navbar, then outside the components folder, and now we're here on the GlobalStyles. All right, so boom. And actually, that's the wrong one. Should not be button, should be container. And that one, my bad, wrong one. So this one should be container. And this should be actually in the elements tab. So I was going a step ahead, but let's go ahead and just cut this and put this in the elements tab. So minor mistake, but this one should be imported here. And then let me save this here. So Navbar elements has a container. And let's see what's wrong here. It's saying I have, looks like these should be curly braces. All right, yeah. So change those to curly braces. And now let's save. And it looks like everything should be working fine here. So right now let's do, let's press enter and be like random letters here. So now we can see these are the letters here. So this is still the navbar. So it's like, it's hard to see until I actually add in the, like the actual text. But for now, we're gonna pretty much, let's go ahead and add the next thing. So inside of here, I want to create the nav logo now. So what I'm going to call it is straight up nav logo. And the funny thing is this is essentially a link. So it's React router. So and normally in React router you have a link to equals whatever. Pretty much we're going to do the same thing except I'm calling it nav logo as a stock component. The path is still going to be 2. And then we're going to have an on-click function eventually. But let me just write this stuff out for now. And then inside of here, we're gonna have a nav icon. And then also, so let's just call this one nav icon. And then this is what you saw with the ultra. So this is pretty much, this little thing right here is what we're making right now. So since we are using React router, we're gonna have to actually install it too. So let me just say this really quick. We're gonna run into some errors, which is fine, but let's go ahead and let me control C here. So I brought the docs on the right, and this is React router. So if you have npm, you just say that, but since I have yarn, I'm gonna say yarn add, and then say react dash router dash dom, and then press enter. And then once this ends up finishing up, we're pretty much set to go start coding. All right, so perfect, it is done now. So now what I'm gonna do is go to the Elements tab. So we have this one here. We have the icon and the logo we just created. So let's go and actually add the styling to this. So go here and let's do const. So I'm gonna say exports, const, and I named it nav logo, set it equal to styled. And instead of passing in a dot and then like a HTML tag, I'm gonna parentheses and say link, because that's essentially what we're targeting, is the link React router tag right there. And then now we're just gonna set the styling. So color is white, so hashtag FFF. Justify dash self. Let's just put flex start. Let's do cursor pointer, and then also text decoration, which will be none. And then we have font size. Let's just do 2 rem. Display to be flex, and then align dash items to be center. All right, so we have the nav logo, and then now under this, I want to create the nav icon, which is just a margin. So I'm gonna say exports const nav icon, so that equal to style dots, and this one is actually not a dot, it's a icon from React Icon. So this one's called FA Magneto. So if you saw that previous tutorial, you basically React icons, you just straight up copy and paste them into your browser, and then you're pretty much set. So I'm gonna just go ahead and do the backticks, and then inside here I just want to set the margin to margin, I believe, what is it, right 0.5 rem. So margin dash right to be 0.5 rem. And if I save this, we're gonna have a bunch of errors because we haven't imported anything. So I need to actually go to the top and do imports, curly braces, the icon we just added, so FAMAGNTO from React icon slash F8. So I'll save that now. And then also we need to start our page because it's currently, if I refresh, it's not loaded. So we have to do yarn start or npm start, depending which we have. And then when I load this up, we should have an error. Well, actually, yeah, let me open this up. Yeah, so we have an error now saying link is not defined because we have to actually import link as well. So under the icons, do imports link, and let's do from react dash router dash DOM. Let me save this, and still should have an error because we haven't actually imported the 2 new stock components we created, which is nav logo and nav icon. So go up to our import elements section here, nav, let's do add nav logo, and then let's add nav icon. Let's save it, and now it's gonna say can I resolve React icons. So let's go ahead and actually install that too. So I brought up the docs for React icons. So if you've seen it, you can feel free to check it out, but pretty much like we can go in here and like click on anything. But here's basically the line you need, npm install react-icons. But you can like go in here and pick a bunch of them and then just import it, whatever the icon name is, as react-icons. So I'm not gonna go in too depth in this because I've made other videos with it, but pretty much it's pretty self-explanatory. So instead of me going in and making and closing it out, I'm just gonna hit plus sign here, and let me just say yarns add react-icons. So if you have npm, obviously npm start, or I mean, yeah, npm install react-icons, and then once this finishes loading, it should show right now. So right now it's saying the actual link outside of router. So now what we need to do is actually go back to the app.js file. So let me go to the app.js file now because I don't have any routers, and then I need to actually import this stuff. So let's just go and let me go above this and say imports, and then curly brace, I'm gonna say browser router as, I want to name it as router. Also I want to have a switch, and then also want to have the route as well. And let me do command B so you can see more of my screen, close out my tab. And I'm going to say from react-router-DOM. So when I save this, nothing's going to happen. So I'm going to wait and actually, right now I want to get rid of this div up here, and I want to turn this into a router. And then also underneath this, I want to have a switch. And then pretty much here I have my routes. But let me get rid of this first. Let me save this for a second. And right now everything's working fine. So right now we're not using these yet, but now you can see what we just created in the actual nav elements was this thing right here, the nav logo, and then also the nav icon. So the icon, logo, and then I can say like color red, and it changes red. So now we have that. And now the thing is with the global styles is we actually have to import that onto our app.js, because you notice we have this like margin on the outside that I don't want. So pretty much, let me just put this at the top and let me just say imports global styles from /global styles. And it's not just that easy yet. We actually have to put it down here, and then I'm gonna say global style. And let me make sure I named this the right one. Yeah, I said global style. So let me do that actually and have it like this. So no S there, and then also no S at the top. So whatever you named your global style. So I just say global style. And now let me see what happened here. Global style has already been declared. So it looks like I have it twice. Yeah, so let me just get rid of this bottom one. I guess it auto imported. So let me just save it now. And now we got rid of the margins with the global style, which was this thing right here. So all right, so now we're getting some progress. Little navbar action going on. So now let me show you a little cool trick is up on this little 3 dots, I have this open editors check. If you don't have it, open it. And then I click down arrow. And like, if you have to go in and manually click it, that's annoying. So I just click the X, boom, whole thing is clean. Now I can just go wherever I want to. So I want to go now to my navbar again. And now let's finish up and start editing this even more. So let's see, inside of the actual nav logo, underneath this one, I want to create our nav or mobile icon, which is essentially the hamburger menu that you saw. So let me just say mobile icon. So I'm naming it mobile icon. You can name this hamburger menu icon. You can name it literally whatever you want, but that's what I'm naming mine. And then inside of this, we're gonna have some JSX. We're gonna use some useState React hooks here. So finally some React, but pretty much I'm gonna say the curly braces, and then I'm gonna say click, which we're gonna create a useState with click and set click soon. And then we use the ternary operator, so the question mark. And essentially if I clicked it, I want this icon called FA times to display. And if that's not true, which you say with a colon, then I want this other icon to display instead. And then pretty much is like that. And then we'll have to create that. So let's go ahead and first, let me save it. We're gonna run into an error because I'm gonna say, what are these? So first things first, let's create the actual stock components. Let me go to navbar elements, and then let's go to and create this mobile icon. So pretty much nothing much to it, but let's just say export const mobile icon, set it equal to style.div, and then backticks, press enter here. Let me get rid of my terminal as you can see. And then I just want to say display to be none. And then also at the media query, so at media screen and max dash width, I want this to say 960 pixels, curly braces, and then we're gonna say display block. And then also I'm gonna say position absolutes, top 0, right 0. Let me get rid of this little screen. And then also transform translates to be minus 100%, comma 60%. And then let's do font size to be 1.8 rem. And then let's do cursor to be pointer. Alright, so that's pretty much all of it for the mobile icon. So I'm gonna save this now. Then we go back to the navbar.js file, and then we have to go back to a little import. So let me command B, import it up here. So let's just say mobile icon. I'll save that here. And now it's gonna say the icons aren't imported. Also, we haven't created our state with the click. So let's import the icons now. So let's just go to the above here. I'm gonna say import curly brace FA. We have FA bars, comma, then FA times. And then we're doing this from react-icon/FA. save this. So now we have one more left, which is click. So pretty much this is just going to be use states. So we have to actually import this at the top of import React. So I'm just say use states. So our React hooks, my favorite, and then inside of here, I'm gonna say const and then the raise and the initial value of our state, and then this function, you just say set click, which will update the value. I'm gonna set that equal to use state. And initially I want it to be false because I haven't done anything. And then right now we need to create an actual function that updates the value of click. And I want it to toggle, so it'll go from false, true, false, true. Pretty much when I click it, it's gonna go from the bars to the X, bars, X, bars, X. And if you're like, what am I saying? You'll see in just a second. But here I'm gonna say const, and I'll just call this handle click. And let's set equal to an arrow function. And pretty much we use the set click function here to update it. And in parentheses, I want it to be the reverse. So I'm gonna say exclamation mark of click. So now it's gonna go from false to true, false to true. And then we have to actually add this to the nav or the mobile icon. So I'm gonna go to mobile icon inside of it. So I'm inside of the actual mobile icon tag. I'm gonna say on click, should be capital C. I'm gonna set that equal to, and I need it to be the handle click function we just created. So now if I save this, let's see if we have any errors. So right now it looks like the color is currently not showing. So one thing too I want to add is, you can see right here, this it's like really dark, and if I click it, it turns to next. But let me actually do this so that you can see what's going on. And it's a cool thing too with React icons is that you can do like a, as they call it, icon text or icon context. So pretty much I can add a icon styles to pretty much any icon within my nav component without having to manually do it each by each. So let's just import this at the top. So import curly brace icon context and say from React dash icon slash lib. And then what we need to do is just simply go to the actual components. So above the nav, under this fragment, I'm going to say icon context dot provider, and then I want the value set equal to, and it's gonna be double curly brace. I'm gonna say color, and I want the icon color to be hashtag FFF, which is pretty much white, but this has to be into a string. So let me do quotes hashtag FFF, and then I'm gonna close it out, and then it gives me this closing tag. So I command X to cut it, and then it needs to go at the bottom of the nav here, paste it, and that should turn it white. So perfect. So literally all the lines we just did, this mobile icon right here, when I click it, and basically updates, boom. So now you can see, and then also the handle click sets state everything here. Click it, it sets it from, basically I haven't clicked it, now I clicked it. And you can see like that. And these are basically these icons we have here. So bars is bars, times is times, just like that. So boom, now let's actually start adding some more stuff to our actual nav menu now. All right, so now I want to create a nav menu style component. So pretty much under this mobile icon, I'm going to go ahead and say, let's do nav menu. And then this is going to have an on click of the handle click. So equal curly braces, handle click. And then outside of this handle click, we're going to close it out. And then pretty much in here, we're going to have nav items and then nav links. So let's go ahead and create those three here. So I'm going to say nav item, close this one out. And then also going to have the nav links, which is essentially the React Router links. I just call it nav links here. And then it's going to have a path. So 2 equals to curly or quotes slash. And then we're going to have another on-close mobile function eventually, but let's leave that off for now. And then inside the nav links, let's just call this home. So this is our first little home nav icon here. So now let's go ahead and we'll save this, and it should run an error. So now we need to go to our nav elements, and let's start styling what we have here. So first thing is the actual, let's see, nav menu. So let's go under the mobile icon, and let's do export it, const nav menu, and let's set equal to style.sul this time, backticks, enter inside of them, and I'm going to say display to be flex. Then I want the line items to be center, And then list dash style, I want it to be none. And then also text dash align, I want that to be center. And I save this now, nothing's gonna happen, but let's add the next two. So we have nav item and then nav link. And actually before I forgot to add the media queries. So on the nav menu, let's do at media, screen, and then it'll be max width colon of 960 pixels. And then pretty much it's gonna say display to be flex, and then also flex direction to be column. And then under here, we're gonna have the width of the thing to be 100%. Let's do height equal to, let's do 90 viewport height. Let me get rid of this little covering. Let's do position, I want it to be position to be absolutes. Let's do top of 80 pixels. And then here's a cool little thing with the stock components. We can actually add in little ternary operator, if and else type thing. So I'm gonna say left. And this is pretty much toggling the nav menu from, if we go to the actual main, this thing right here, see how it goes like left like this? This is basically what we're writing right now. So what we do is I'll say $, and essentially you'd say like props dot whatever your name is, but I'm gonna destructure it. And I'm gonna put the curly braces and then parentheses and then curly braces. Okay, so now inside the curly braces, I'm gonna say click, and then I go outside the curly brace, outside the parentheses, still inside the last curly brace here, set it equal to arrow function, and then in parentheses here, I'm gonna say click. If I clicked it is true, I want left, the value of left to be 0. And if I didn't, I'm gonna do colon, else I'm gonna do quotes minus 100%. And if you've never seen stock components, you're like, what the heck's going on? This is pretty much saying if I click it, I want the value to show, and if it doesn't, I want it to disappear pretty much. And then once we finish up this CSS, you'll see, and then let's do opacity to be 1, and then transition, let's just do all 0.5 SEs, and then last, let's do background to be hashtag 101522. Okay, so we're set with the nav menu. Now under here, let's do export const, and let's do nav item. I'm gonna set it equal to style.li backticks. And then pretty much here, it's just gonna say the height. I want the height of the list items to be 80 pixels. Border dash bottom, I want that to be 2 pixels, solid, transparent. And then here's a cool little hover effect I'm gonna add. And the way I did it this way is and symbol, colon, hover, curly braces. And then we're gonna say border dash bottom, colon, 2 pixels, solid, hashtag 4B59F7. And then outside that curly braces, but still inside the backticks, we're gonna do the media queries now. So at media screen and max dash width, colon, 960 pixels. And then we're gonna say width to be 100%. And then I want the and colon hover, I want that to be, let me get rid of this. I want it to just say border to be none. And then we have one more, which was the nav links. So let's just say export const nav links. And then let's go ahead and set that equal to style dots. Actually, not dot, my bad. Styled link, because it's React router path router. And then the backticks here. And let's just say color to be white. Let's say display to be flex. Let's do align items to be center, text dash decoration to be none, and then let's see padding. Let me do 0.5 rem by 1 rem, and then let's do height to be 100%. And then I have one media query under here, and then we're pretty much set with this section. So at media screen and be max dash width colon of 960 pixels, and then we're pretty much gonna say here text dash align to be center, padding be 2 rem, width to be 100%, and display, let's do table here. And then still inside of this media query with the curly braces, just press enter a couple times, and then :hover, curly brace here, let's just say color, hashtag 4B59F7, and then transition, I want that to be all 0.3 SEs. Save it. Bunch of style component code right there. Now go back to Navbar CS or JS. Now we have to import this. So we have, let's see, nav menu. Then we have the nav item, and then we have the nav links. So save it here, and we should be good to go. So now I click it, nothing happens yet, but we still need to add a bunch more code to our actual nav bar. But when I scroll, let me scroll it out from the mobile. You can see we have a little home chilling right there, which is pretty much all the code we wrote here. So now instead of us going crazy and typing in every little thing we just did, let's go ahead and actually just copy and paste this stuff. So pretty much the nav menu is the same for the rest. So like if I go to the nav menu, if I just sit here and hold shift while clicking at the end, I have it, Command C, then I'm gonna press enter. And now we have another nav menu, and this time I want the actual path here to say services. I want the home to say services. And then pretty much looks like we're good on that section. And we're gonna have to eventually add a on-close mobile menu function to it. So might as well, actually let's leave that off for now because I don't have anything shown yet. But if I save it right now and I go back to desktop view, we have services now. And that should be a capital S. So services here. And now underneath this nav menu, the last one, right before nav container, paste it again. And let me paste it 2 more times. So actually, yeah, let me just paste it 1 time. So just right now, 1 time. This one's gonna be products. And then let's just say here, products. And then if I were to save this one, we can go over here, and then you can see we have home, services, and products. Now, one thing I want to do is actually we have to create a click. So right now on the actual nav menu, we go up to the top one. This is the home section one here. But what I want to do is add a click to this. So pretty much, so it looks like actually, yeah, I'm gonna add a click, but it looks like I messed up on the actual JSX. So let me zoom this out because it should not be nav menus wrapped. Everything should be wrapped around nav items. So that was my fault. So pretty much under the second nav menu here, so let me highlight this one. You can do this little shortcut where you do Command D and it targets both of them, and then you can just press B and it erases it. And then all I need to do is find this closing tag right here, and then that one, close it here. And then this nav menu right here, the first one we created, the closing one should be wrapped around all of the nav items. There we go. So now if I save it now, let's see if it makes, it should fit there. Okay, now that makes it much better because that's what the spacing was, and basically now it's all close together now. So it should look like this. So that was a little mistake, but good thing I caught that early. So now we have a nav menu, and then we have 3 nav items nested inside with each home, services, and products. So now on the nav menu, I want to add that click. So I'm gonna say click equals to click. So basically it's saying if there's a value, and then pretty much if I actually click, then it's gonna display the actual left, right. Watch. So see, now you can see now it works. And you're wondering what is this magic? Pretty much, if I go back, let me go up here. This right here is currently, it's not true. I didn't click it, so it's set to negative 100%, meaning it's like it's literally invisible because it's all the way to the left. But when I click it, it pushes it back to visible view like that. So you see that? So that's pretty much this value here, this left, what it's doing right there. And if you want to check out stock components docs too, you can check out more in terms of like the props. But I destructured mine, so this is the way I did it. But that's just what happened right there. And then cool thing too, let me see if I click it here. Right there, it looks like it's working when I click it, and it closes it out like that. So that's pretty cool. But now one last thing I want to finish off the actual nav menu is I want to create a nav button now, which is what you saw over here. which is this thing right here. And I want to make it so that I can reuse this style. So I'm gonna go to my GlobalStyles. And this is the way I figured it out. If you have a better way or know a better way to do this, let me know. But this is just one way to do it that I managed to have it reused across the actual website. So let's just say here on GlobalStyles export const, I'm gonna say button. So equal to style dot, and it's a button, backticks. And then I'm just say border dash radius, and that's gonna be 4 pixels. Let's do background, and then here, since we did it before, I want it to be pretty much $, curly brace, parenthesis, curly brace. And then this is the structuring, so I'm gonna say primary is my value. I'm calling this one. You can name it chicken nuggets, doesn't matter what you name it. But this is basically saying if I have this primary value set, or aka my primary color, then I want this to be the color. And that's the little purplish one that you see here. And then I'm gonna say arrow function here. And then for this, I'm gonna say primary, and then turn your operator, so question mark if that's true. So I'm gonna say if this is true, I want the hashtag 4B5 9F7 to display for the button, and then I'll have the colon, and this little thing has disappeared. Let me close it out. Colon, else I want this color, so quotes. And then I want to say hashtag 0467FB, and then semicolon after that. And then I'm going to add, let's see, white dash base, no wrap. And then I want to have a padding. And this is just something you can add if you want to. I don't think I really use it that much, but it's just a cool effect. But here I'm going to say $, curly brace, parenthesis, curly brace. Say big, and then outside of those, I'm gonna say arrow function. Then I'm gonna say parentheses big, and ternary operator, so question mark. And let me get rid of this little thing here. I'm gonna say if big is true, I want the padding to be 12 pixels by 64 pixels. Else I want it to be 10 pixels by 20 pixels. And then underneath this padding, I'm gonna say color equal to hashtag FFF, and then I'm gonna have font dash size to be $, curly brace, parenthesis, curly brace again, and say just call this one font big. Then go outside the curly brace parentheses, arrow function, and I need this to stop popping up. I'm gonna say parentheses again, font big, and ternary operator question mark. If I have font big as values true, I'm gonna say 20 pixels. Colon, else I want it to be 16 pixels. And then press enter. And why is this popping up? Everyone knows how to get rid of those. Please let me know in the comments below. And then let's just do more simple. So let's just say outline. Okay, hold on. What just happened? This should be outline to be none, and then border to be none, and then cursor to be pointer. And we're not done yet. We just have to add a hover effect and then media query. So I think it was like 5 more lines. Let's see. And colon hover, curly brace here. I want to say transition to be all 0.3s ease dash outs. And then let's do background. Let's do hashtag FF, and then background color. And I don't want to say and retype this again. So I'm literally just going to copy this here and then go here, except I want it to be the reverse order. So pretty much this color here, I want it to be this, and then I want that color to be this. And then underneath the hover curly brace, we're still in the backticks. I'm gonna say at media screen and parentheses max width to be 960 pixels. And then curly brace here, we're just gonna say width to be 100%. I know that was a lot, but we're pretty much done with the GlobalStyles page. I don't have to look at it ever again for this video, so thank God. Okay, and now let's go back to our actual, let's see, it's your current app. Right now nothing's here yet, so let's go back to our Navbar, and now let's go and actually implement this inside of the Navbar. So right here, let's see, nav menu, is the last closing. So I want to make sure I'm inside of that. So below the nav item, but above the closing nav menu, I want to say here, let's call this one nav item BTN, closing it out. And then pretty much inside of this, we're going to do some curly brace action here. And then we're going to basically set we're going to do some use state stuff too here. So pretty much we're going to say button. So let's see. Button, if it is true, so question mark. I'm going to have parentheses. And then pretty much, let's press enter so you can see it better. And let me close this out. So I'm going to say nav btn link 2 equals quotes slash sign dash up, and then close it out. And then inside nav btn link, I'm going to pass in the actual button that we created, and I want it to have the primary value. So whenever I put just primary, that means it's there, meaning it's true. So trigger that value. And I just wanted to say sign up. And then, so that's if it's true. But now outside this parentheses, which we have here, but still inside this curly brace, I'm going to say the colon and then parentheses again. Let's press enter. And then I'm basically going to say nav btn link 2 equals quotes slash sign dash up, and then close it out. And then we're going to say button on click. And we're going to create a close mobile menu thing too eventually. So let's see, close mobile menu. And then also I'm going to say I want font. Let me get rid of this. Font big and then primary. Then go right here. And then pretty much we're going to just say sign up. Or actually sign up. No, wait, let me do sign up. And right now we're going to see we have all this craziness. Let's actually keep this close mobile menu off for now, because I think I have the click, should work for now. But let's keep this off for now. And now we have nav btn, item btn, we have to add to stock components. Button not confined either. And then also, yeah, btn link. So now command B, let's go to navbar elements. And let's add that to our stock component. So let's go and scroll down and let's do here, say cons, and let's shrink it so we can see what we got missing. So actually this should be export cons nav item btn equal to style dot li quotes like this, and then we're going to say at media screen and max dash width colon 960 pixels curly braces, and let's say display flex. Then I'm gonna say justify dash content to be centered, and then align dash items to be center, and then also the width to be, let's see, can't spell today, width to be 100%, and then I want the height to be 120 pixels. Alright, so now let's nav item btn, so outside the backtick, and then let's see, we have nav btn link. So now let's add this, and I think this should be our last one for the nav bar. So export cons nav btn link equals styled, and then we're targeting the link because React router, and then backticks. Then I'm gonna say display flex. I hate this. I do not know why that keeps popping up. Justify dash content to be center, and then align dash items to be center. Also we got text dash decoration to be none, and then also padding, let's do 8 pixels by 16. Let's do height to be 100%. Okay, hold on. 100% here, width to be 100%. Alright, why is VS Code playing games? And then let's do border to be none, and then let's do outline to be none. Alright, save this here. And now go navbar, go to the top, let's import. So under that comma, let's do nav item btn, comma, and then nav btn link. So I'll save this. And now the last thing is just buttons and the other button. So pretty much the first thing I want to do is import the button. So let's just go under this icon context. Let me say import curly brace button, and we're importing this from my GlobalStyles page. So // GlobalStyles. And now we got one last thing, which is just simply a use state. So underneath the actual const navbar, under the actual navbar, I'm gonna say const array, and I'm gonna say button, and then we're gonna just set the button, and then we're gonna set that equal to use state, and you guessed it, this time it should be true. And now simply I want to create this function. Let's see, const, and let's just do show button. And I don't want this to display on the mobile the way I had it earlier. So basically, I'm gonna have it goes like this. At the parentheses, I'm gonna say arrow function here, and then curly braces. And I'm gonna say if window dot inner width is less than or equal to 960 pixels, pretty much. Then I'm gonna say, let's see here, curly braces. I'm gonna set the button to false. And then else, let's do set button to true. And then I'm gonna have a use effect. So we need to pass use effect up here with use state. So use effect. And then pretty much I just want to surrender with the use button. So use effect. And how do I get rid of these little screens? All right, so parentheses. Let's pass in arrow functions, parentheses, curly brace here. And then let's just simply say show button. Call it there. And then in the actual thing, I want to pass in an empty array. And then last but not least, under here is going to say window dot add event listener. And I want it to be, whenever I resize this, then I want to trigger the show button function. Okay, so a bunch of code. Well, pretty much now we have this, and then boom, look at that, perfect. So now like this, and then we close it, boom, hover effects, and then everything works perfect like this. So it looks like everything is working perfect, amazing, thank goodness. And now let's move on to the next component. So now let's create our, I call it the info section. So pretty much all of the little components right here with the icon, the SVGs, all that fun stuff. Let's go ahead and create those. So what I'm gonna do is go to the components, right click, and then go to new folder. And let's just type in info section. And then I'm gonna right click this and then create a new file and just call that info section.js. And then also I'm gonna have a new file called this info section.elements.js. So let me make that smaller. So now I need to go to the index.js file in the components, and then pretty much I'm gonna go under here and then holding let's see, command B this shift alt and down arrow, and I just wanted to update this to say pretty much info section from info section. So highlight the nav bar, command D twice, should have both highlighted, and say info section here, and then I'm just gonna save it, then command B here, and then now I'm gonna go to the info section.js, type in RAFCE, press enter, have it all imported for us, and let's go ahead and let's just start creating the actual style components. So in the div, let me just turn these into fragments, and let's go ahead and create the first one, which is going to be, I just say info sec sec for short, and then let me just close it like this. There's nothing right there, so save it like that and say info sec's not defined. So now I go to the elements, and let's go ahead and at the top let's go import styled from style-components, and then I'm gonna say export const info sec equal to style.div with the backticks, and then I'm gonna say color : #FFF, And then padding will be, let's do 160 pixels by 0. Background will be $, curly brace, parenthesis, curly brace. And this is going to be light, capital BG, right there, and then G. And then outside of the curly brace parentheses, I'm going to have the arrow function. And then same as we did beforehand, it's basically going to say light BG. Ternary operator, if it is true, I want the background to be hashtag FFF else I want it to be hashtag 101522. And that's basically the dark background we have here. So now I'm going to go ahead and hit Command S here, Command B back, go to info section, and then we need to actually import this. So I'm going to say first off at the top, let's do import curly brace info sec from /info section .elements. And I'll save this here, and then I want to go into infosec, and then I need to actually pass in this. So I'm gonna say light bg equal to curly brace light bg, so that I can have the value here. And then in the parentheses, I'm gonna do curly brace the structure here. I need to actually pass that in light bg, and I'll save it here. Now right now nothing is displaying because we actually have to show this up on some page. So let me create on our pages. Let's go right click and do new folder, and I'm gonna call this one the home page. And then inside of this home page folder, I'm gonna right click here, new file, and this is gonna be, let's see, home.js, and then right click it again, and then let's do data.js. So in the home.js file, what I'm gonna do is simply do RAFCE again, and looks like it did not work for me. RAFCE, there we go. All right, so const home. And pretty much we're gonna say here the fragments, and then I'm gonna have opening tag info section component, and then let's just close it out here for now. And then I want to actually import this, so import curly brace info section from quotes // components. Now save this here. And right now nothing is showing up yet. So let's go to our actual app.js file now. And then underneath the navbar, I'm gonna have a switch. And then inside of the switch, let me get rid of this. I'm gonna have my routes. So here's routes, and then path, I want it to set equal to the / or the home page. I want it to be exact. And then for the component, I want this to trigger the home component and display that. And then I need to actually go up, and let's go right here and simply just say import home from /pages / homepage / home. Save it here. And now we have nothing displaying yet because obviously we have no actual, we don't have much yet, but pretty much here it says light BG. So right now nothing's showing, so I can go to the data file now. And then here is where we have all of our fancy data. So let's just say for now export const, and let's just say home objects, or obj for short, and then 1 equal to curly brace. And then I want to have a light BG, let's just set that to false. So save it here, and then I need to go back to home. And then I need to actually import this. So let's just say import home obj1 from /data. And then I can pass that in here, curly brace, and I want to spread these values in. So ... home obj1. And now let's go ahead and save this. So right now nothing is showing. So let's go back to info.section, and pretty much let's go ahead and start filling this out. So right now there's nothing yet. We have nothing made, so you can't really see what's going on, but eventually we're gonna finish this up. So we have most of the stuff, data files, and set up already. So now we just gotta add everything in here. So let's go in between this, and then we'll create a container, which we had from the previous global style section, which is perfect for this. And then since we have container already created from the previous one, let's just go ahead and import it at the top. Let's just say imports curly brace container, and then from // global styles. And let's make sure we have it like this. And inside the container, let's do info row. So let's do info row, and I have an image start value on here. So let me just write it in. So img starts equals curly brace img starts, and then close this one out here. And then we have a info column. So let's do info column. And then inside of this info column, I'm going to have a text wrapper. So let's just do text wrapper here. And then let's go ahead and create the first, well, actually, let's just do these three for now. So let me just put like a random letter here, save it. So right now we have, let's see, 4 things. So let's go to the info. Let me maybe smaller. Now I'm on the info elements tab. Let's do export const. And let's see, let's do info row first. So now I'm going to say export const info row equal to styled dot div backtick, and I'm going to say display to be flex. I want the margin to be 0, minus 15 pixels, minus 15 pixels, minus 15 pixels. Should be 2. And then let's do flex wrap to be wrap, align dash items to be center, and then flex direction colon, and then this is where we have the image start value. So $, curly brace, parenthesis, curly brace, img start, arrow function, value we named it, img starts. And actually let's make sure these are in parentheses. So like this, and then make sure you get rid of this. We'll do the ternary operator. So question mark, if this is true, I want it to be row dash reverse. So this is essentially the positioning of the actual images. So let me just make sure if you're confused. See how like image starts on this one, but then on this one it's on that side. So essentially it's reversing the order, which is what we're doing right now. So let's see, it's going to be the row reverse, else is going to be row, and then semicolon, and let me say that for now. So now we need to do export const, and let's see, we have info column, set that equal to style.div, and then we're going to say margin dash bottom to be 15 pixels, padding dash right to be 15 pixels, and then padding dash left to be 15 pixels. And then we have flex to be 1, max dash width to be 50%, and should be 50%, and then we have flex dash basis to be 50%. Keep doing that. And let's see what else we got. Info, we got text wrapper. So actually, info column has media query. So let me add it at the bottom at media, screen, and max dash width colon 768 pixels. And let's do max dash width to be 100%. Why does it keep on doing that? Let's do flex dash basis to be 100%. Display to be flex, justify content to be centered. Now below this one, let's see, text wrapper now. So export const text wrapper, so that equal to style.div backticks. Then I'm gonna say max dash width to be 540 pixels. Padding dash top to be 0, padding dash bottom to be 60 pixels. And then below it, I'm going to say at media, screen, and max dash width to be 768 pixels. And then I'm gonna say padding dash bottom to be 65 pixels. So we're pretty much set with the stock components. Now I'm gonna go back to info section. So let's go back here. And then pretty much we need to actually import this. So at the top, I'm gonna just say under here, let's do imports, curly brace, and we have, let's see, info section. We didn't import that one. Then we're gonna have, let's see, info row. And then we have info column. And then we have text wrapper. And then I'm gonna set that from dot slash info section elements. And one last thing, if I save this, it's to see, it's gonna say info section already been declared. Oh, I already imported this at the top. Oh, my bad, I forgot. So let me just delete this line here. Should be fine. Now it says image start is not defined. So now we need to go into our light BG right here and just add the img start. And then we can save it. And right now nothing is displaying yet. But if I go to home, you can see we have this, just a background, and then I can just say like home page. Save it here. And this is what we got going on right now. So at least we have something showing here, and it's aligned like that. So now we just gotta finish up this. So let's go inside of this text wrapper now. And let's see, let's do top line. So top line, and I'm gonna say light top line equal to curly brace light top line. This is essentially just saying, is there a value? If it is, then I want it to be whatever we have. So then we have curly brace top line, curly brace here. So whatever I pass in on the data file will just display here. And then underneath top line, and if you're like, what the heck is top line? It's the it's this line right here. The top line in every little component we got going on. And now underneath top line, let's do heading. And let's do light text. So if I have a light text value, I want it to display as light text. And let's close this out. And then we have the curly brace, and let's just say headline here. Should just be all lowercase. And then we have subtitle, so subtitle, and then I want to have lights text DESC for description equal to curly brace lights text DESC. Close it out, and then it's going to pass in description and curly braces like this. Now under subtitle, we're going to have a link. Now I didn't have a styling for this one, but you can obviously have one, but I couldn't think of a way to style this link since it's just the outside. But if you have, you can turn this into one if you want to, but I'm gonna say link to equals, and it's the /sign dash up. Close this out, and then we're gonna have a button. I want the button to be big. I want the font to be big, so font gotta be big, and I want the color to be primary. Then I'm gonna set that equal to curly brace primary, and then close this tag out. And then in the button, I just want this to have the curly braces and say button label. So we're gonna have all this stuff added into our data file. So for now, let's just save this for now, and let's start defining a bunch of stuff here. So Command B, let's go back to our stock components elements right here. And let's start having fun with this. So let's see what we got next. Oh, under text wrapper, let's see, I got let's do top line. So let's do export const top line. So that equal to style.div backticks here. And then I'm going to say color colon $, curly brace parenthesis curly brace here. I'm going to say light top line. So I want it to be whether it's a light color or not. Arrow function is same as we've been doing, parentheses here, and then we're going to say light top line. If that's true, I want to, so let me close this out. Yeah, this go away. Okay, good. All right, so light top line, I'm going to say hashtag A9 B3 C1. Else, I want the color to be hashtag 4B5 9F7. So under that, then we're gonna have font dash size is going to be 18 pixels. Line dash height is going to be 16 pixels. And then we have font dash weight is going to be 700. And then let's do, actually we don't really need that yet. We can add that if you want to, but I'll just keep it out for now. Let's do letter dash spacing to be 1.4 pixels, and then margin dash bottom to be 16 pixels. So save that for now. And then underneath that top line, looks like we have, let's see, the heading. So let's do export const heading equal to style.h1 backticks here. Margin dash bottom is going to be 24 pixels. Font dash size is going to be 48 pixels. Line dash height is going to be, let's do 1.1. And then let's do color colon $, curly brace, parenthesis, curly brace. And let's do light text equal to arrow function. I'm going to say light text $, and not $, my bad, question mark. And if that is true, I want the color of it to be hashtag F7, F8, FA, colon else I want it to be, let's do hashtag 1, C2237. And semicolon around that. And let's see. And then last one will be the subtitle. So let me just press enter here. Actually, yeah. Outside of that, let's do export const. And I think, let me make sure I put the margin bottom one. Okay, yeah. So let's do export const title equal to style.p backtick, and then let's just say max dash width to be 440 pixels. Let's do margin dash bottom to be 35 pixels. Let's do font dash size to be 18 pixels, and then let's do line dash height to be 24 pixels. And then last but not least, let's do the color. Let me just copy this code here, and then let's just say light text capital DESC, light text DESC, and then let's see, let's change this one to hashtag A9 B3C1, and then here I want this one to say, let's just keep it like that. All right, let's save this. Now command V back, go back to the info section, and now let's import this stuff. So we have text wrapper. Let's see, we got top line, we got heading, comma, we got subtitle, and let's save this for now. And now let's see, light top line. So now these other values were in the actual function here. So let's do image starts, light top line. Then we have, let's see, what else? Light text DESC. And yeah, let me save this for now. And let's see, what else do I need to import here? Yeah, okay, so we got button label too. So let's do button label. Then we have description. And let's see, headline. And if you're like, what are these values? These are basically the data file which we're about to create, or actually update. We already created this. And let's see, let me save. Let's do light text 2, I think, missing that one. And then comma, let's do top line. I'll save this. So now we have link, button, and primary. So one thing too is primary. So let me just add this at the top. Primary, save this. So perfect. So now we just need to import the link from React Router DOM. So I'm going to say at the top, import link from React Router DOM. And then also in the GlobalStyles, I'm going to import this button that we made. So save that here. All right, perfect. So now if I go to our data file, let me just copy what we have right now. Just go here, copy this. Let me go to our data file now, and let me just paste this below it. So we have primary. So let me set that value to true. Let's do light BG. Let's set that to false. Image start. We don't have actual image yet, so let me just set that to blank. And then let's do, they even have image on my thing yet? No, not yet. All right, so we'll do that later. I don't even think I have, oh, image, okay, yeah. So now let's do, let's see, top line. Light top line, let's make that true. So I want it to be light. Light text description, colon, set that to true. Button label. So let's see, I want this to say, I want the button to say get started. And then for the description, I want that to be, let's see, we help, I should be quotes. We help business owners increase their revenue. Our team of unique specialists can help you achieve your business goals. If you're wondering where I came up with that, I just made that up myself. That's my own copy. Headline, let's see, let's do lead generation specialists for online businesses. And then last two, let's see, well, make sure you have a comma. And if you're confused right now, you're going crazy, don't worry. These last two lines, once I hit save, you're gonna be able to understand what happened. But let's see, light text to be true. And then top line, I wanted to say marketing agency. So now if I save this, please make sure this is what happened. Oh, this needs a comma here, okay. Save it. Oh, thank God. All right, perfect. So we just created all that fun stuff right here. So now I just need to add in our images and then add some more stock components, and then we'll pretty much be set. But now you can see how we implemented this data file, and literally we can edit and customize all this stuff here. So if you're like light background, like color primary is true, so it's purple. If I didn't have primary and I set it to false, it's going to be bluish. It's hard to see, but like, because I have the colors so similar, but that's basically what just happened here. And so far we're making some progress. So looks like the route's working right now. So now let's go back to our info section and let's finish off the rest of this. So it's just pretty much the image. Let's go to, let's see, link. You got the text wrapper, info column. So underneath this closing info column, press enter. And then here I'm going to say info column again, except we're going to have a new one. And then I'm going to say img wrapper, not like 2 chains, but like an actual wrapper. And then say start equals to curly brace start, close it out. And then we have the image. So opening tag img, src is equal to curly brace img, and then the alt is equal to alt. And then I'll have close here, and then we save. So now we need to finish this up. So let's go to info section, and let's just add some stuff here. So we have the img wrapper. So let's do export const img wrapper equal to style.div quotes, and then we're going to say max dash width to be 555 pixels. Then we're going to say display to be flex, and then let's do justify dash content, and it's basically going to say $, curly brace, parentheses, curly brace, and I want it to be start. I can name it whatever you want to, but pretty much I wanted to make the images like start exactly on the edge, whatever the positioning is, so like it's aligned with the previous ones. Before it was centered and it just didn't look that good. That's what we're doing here. So let's see. So in this arrow function, we're gonna say if start is true, then we're gonna have the ternary. Then we're gonna say flex dash start, else colon flex-n, so it looks nice and flush with the left side. And image wrapper is done here. So outside of this one, now we're gonna say export const img equal to style.img is normal, then backticks. And they're gonna say padding dash right to be 0, border to be 0. Let's do max dash width to be 100%. Let's do vertical dash align to be middle. And then under that, I'm gonna say display, let me scroll this up, inline dash block, and then let's do max dash heights to be 500 pixels. And let's save this. Now let's go back to our info section, JS. Gotta import this at the top. So let's add the img wrapper, and then we add img. So I'll save this now. So now we just need start image and alt. So we can import this actually in over here where the info section. So I'm gonna have img, alt, and then start. Save it here. And right now let's copy these right here. So let's copy these three values, go to data, comma here, press enter. So right now we have, let's say for the start, let's just do blank, so empty quotes. For the alt, I wanted to just say, I don't even remember, let's just say image for now. And then image, let's just put it blank for now because we don't have one yet, but I'll show you where I got mine. This is a comma here. So we're just showing an image, the alt tag, because I don't have an image. So let me show you where I got my images. Then if you want to go to my GitHub and get the same ones I have, you can too. But this way you have more freedom, and especially if you're making your own site, you can do whatever you want. But here's the site. I use Undraw. And all you can do is go click return when you show up, hit browse, and then choose the color, like whatever color your site is. And then basically you can search up here, type in whatever you want to. So if I like type in like tech, we'll have tech pop up. And then like you click on any of these, download SVG for your projects. I'll just download this for example. If I click it, yeah, so you just sit there and download whatever you want to, and then you can just show the folder, and then pretty much just what we can do now is let's create an SRC. So SRC, right click and do new folder. And let's just call this images. And then you would just simply drag that into your images folder and then just name it whatever you want to. So for this example, let me just drag the stuff that I already have for mine into mine just to save some time. And then also I got the other profile image from like Unsplash or Unsplash or Pixabay, which is, you guys can look that up too if you want like an actual photo. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just an image pretty much. So now inside the image, we have to do, this is important since we have it on the SRC directory. So now let's go ahead and img, let's just say require. If you don't put require, you're not gonna be able to see your images and you're just gonna go crazy. So let's do // images / and let's do svg-1.svg. So let me save this. And if we did everything perfect, then you'll see we have our perfect little info section, hero section tagging right now. And we're pretty much set to go with this. So now all we need to do is literally copy and paste this, rinse and repeat it. So let's just do that right now. So let me go copy this data file here, press enter, home. Let's just change this to 2. And then let me just change the image for now. So let's just see, what did I name this? Profile.jpg. So let's do profile.jpg. I can change the text later, but right now I'm gonna keep it like this. Home J3. Let's do THRE. And let's do SVG2. And then let's just do a fourth one. Why not? And let's do 4. And I'm on the homepage data.js file in case you're like lost. And then let's do SVG3. So I'll save it now here. Now let me show you this React magic. So now I'll go to the home.js, hold the shift alt down arrow 4. So let's do 1, 2, and then 3, and then 4. And then we just have to import this. So let me just copy these. Alright, why is my keyboard acting weird? So let's copy this here. Let me just do it here actually in order. And then let me just copy this one, change that to 4. Now if I save, fingers crossed, this should, let me go here. Awesome, so now we have everything perfectly aligned and everything's looking good. So now I can just change the data files here. So like, for example, the second one, let's just do that really quick. And let's see, we have primary, true, light BGs, false, top line, true. Let's see, image start, I think I have set. Let me see, image start, no, that one's fine. And then let's see, well, technically that's the second one. Yeah, so I should look at this one actually. So let's do this one. So primary, let's change that to false now. So let's do false here. And then let's do, let's see, light BG is going to be true. And then light, let's see, light BG. Did I light BG twice? What the heck? Yeah, I should get that rid of that. I don't know what that. Yeah, looks like I put light BG twice. Oh well, we'll erase those later. And then let's see, image start. Let's see, for IGM start, I want to have start. And then let's see, primary is false. Top line, I have false. So let's do false here. Light text description should be false. And then let's see, light text, that'll be false. And let's see, we have start. So I want start to be true. Image, let's see, everything. So let's save it for now. Let's just check it. All right, so now looks like it worked out for this section. So this is the second section. So basically the image is reversed, starting now. The text changed up too, and then also the background changed too. And then we just rinse and repeat that for the next ones here. So for instance, let's see the third one. I mean, we could do, I mean, we can actually keep it because it's within the lines. And then the last one, I guess you could change that one out. So like for instance, the last one, let's just do it. What the heck, we're here already. I can just say, I don't know why I have light background twice. Let me get rid of those first. Light BG twice. Do I have it on the top too? Yeah. All right, so now let's go back to the fourth one. Primary true, light BG is false. Top line is true. Image start needs to be starts. Let's see, start needs to be true. Light text, what did I have? True. Let's see, light BG is false. Yeah, that should be fine. Let me just save it. Because I believe I put a the pricing. Let me check my main one. White, dark, light. Yeah, so pricing's in here and then it's like that. Yeah, so pretty much I put the pricing thing in here. But you can see here, we pretty much have a majority of the site made. So now we just have to do the footer and then pretty much do yeah, I think the footer and the pricing section too, and then we'll be on our way. And then also the routes as well, that thing too. So let's go on and let me go ahead and hop into the SRC now. Let's create a new folder. Let's call this one footer. And then inside of the footer, let's just create a new file. Call this one, clicking in it, footer.js. And then new file again, and let's just call this footer.elements.js. And now let's go ahead and start adding in our style components. All right, so now let me go to the footer.js file and let me do RAFCE. And then pretty much we got to create all of our styles. So here, let me just straight up add this one. Let me just do footer container, and then here let's do footer subscription. So again, these are just things I'm naming. And then under here, let me do footer subheading, and then here I'm going to say join our exclusive membership to receive the latest news and trends. And then underneath this subheading, let's do footer subtext. And then here, let's just say you can, and let me close this out. You can unsubscribe at any time. All right, so now let me save this for now. And then let's go and actually import this footer into app.js. So we first have to go to our index.js file here and pretty much do the same stuff. So let me command B this. And then let's just go under Navbar, shift all down arrow. And then let me command all of these here. Let me just say footer, command B. Now go to app.js. And I want to go here and I want to simply say underneath, let's do underneath the switch, let's import footer. So it automatically adds it there. If not, type in footer next to comma. So see how clean it is where you can just have everything in one line. And then when I save it, let's see, go to the bottom. It's wrong page, my bad. Here we go. There we go. Cannot resolve footer in footer. So that's because we haven't added anything yet. So now let me go ahead and let's start adding in our actual code so that we have something actually showing on here. So now what I want to do is let's go to the footer.elements now and let's start styling our actual footer. So let's do import styled from styled components. And then let's import React Router link. Well, let's wait on that first until we have to use it. But here, let's do export const footer. And let me do something really quick. See if it's better. It's easier. Oh, so that was the issue, right? See how I put the footer on the wrong directory. So it should be in the components, not outside. So get the footer folder. Make sure it's inside the components. So now let's refresh. And this should, let me see what happened. It should work now. Let me check real quick. Why is it not? Yeah, export default footer as footer. Let me just take it out of the app.js this time. Or let me just take it out here. All right, perfect. Okay, so now let's take it out of app.js for now, just so we can get rid of that little error. But pretty much now what we need to do is go into footer.js, the elements tab, and then just style all these here. All right, so once we do finish it, then we can actually go in and add that back to the app.js file. But for now, let's do export const footer container, and then let's see what styles should we put for this one. So I'm gonna say, let me close out my tab, equal to style.div backticks. Let's just do background dash color, and let me just say hashtag 101522. Let's do padding 4 rem 0, 2 rem 0. Let's do display to be flex direction to be column. And then let's do justify contents to be centered and align items to be centered. Save it there. And then let's do export const footer subscription equal to style.section backtick. And let's do display flex direction to be column. Let me scroll down. Justify contents to be centered, align dash items to be center, text align to be center, and margin dash bottom to be 24 pixels, padding to be 24 pixels, and color to be hashtag FF. So we got that one. And then let's do export const footer subheading equal to style.p backtick, and then let's do font dash family, and let's see, quotes TREBUCHETMS, and then just comma, let's just do LUCIDA sans Unicode, and then come out of this one, let's do LUCIDA grande, and usually it would autofill, but for this it wasn't. And then last, let's do LUCIDA sans, and if not, we'll do Arial, comma, sans serif. Oh, so now it decides to fill out for me, sweet. Alright, so sans serif, okay. And then, get rid of this real quick. Let's do margin dash bottom to be 24 pixels, and then font size to be 24 pixels. And let's see, export const footer subtext, and I want this to be a equal to style.p2, and then just simply say margin dash bottom to be 24 pixels, and then font size to be 20 pixels. All right, so let's save this here, and then let me command B. Let's go back to footer now, and we just have to import these. So I'm gonna basically say imports curly brace. We got footer container, footer, let me close out, subscription, footer subheading, and then footer subtext from quote./footer.elements. And I save it. It's saying it's undefined, which it shouldn't. What is, let me see. Footer/footer/footer.js. Did I put these in the right folder? Yeah, it should be fine. Let me check my elements. Everything should be good here. Let me try to, maybe I didn't, let me see, I'll start again. Actually, I think, yeah, I have the, let me actually delete this node. Let me do command C or control C, and let me do yarn start again. Let me make sure I have everything. You don't have to do this because I'm just debugging to make sure trying to figure out what's going on. So let's see what is going on. All right, so now it looks like it's working. I don't know why I didn't. What was going on beforehand? It's weird. Okay. So that's what I was about to say. I was like, that should be good. So let me see. Let me go to, just scroll this open. So right now let's go to let's try it again, see if anything happens now. Comment this out, comma footer, and see. Perfect. All right, so now we got our footer showing up here. So basically we have this section here. So now we can go ahead and go back to footer.js and finish up the actual code. So underneath, let's see, subtext. Let's close this out actually. Underneath the subtext, let's create a form. And then under the form, I want to have a form inputs. So let me hold on. Let me do form input like this. Then underneath the form, actually in the form input, I want to make sure, because this is actual input, name equal to email, type equal to email, placeholder equal to your email, and then inside of this I want the button to have font that's big, and then just say subscribe. And since we're already here, might as well import the button at the top. So let's just say import curly brace button from quotes / GlobalStyles. And then let me go back down to my form, and let's see, we got the form input, but let's just go there for now. So now I'm going to command B, go back to the elements tab now, and let's just add these in. So let's go and let's see what we got. The form. So let's do exports const form equals style.div backtick. Actually, should be a form. I bet should be form. I'm gonna say display. I want it to be flex. Justify content to be centered. Align items to be centered here, and then I want the media query, so add media screen and parentheses max dash width colon to be 820 pixels, and then under that flex direction I want it to be column, and I don't know why this keeps popping up. Come on, here we go, and then I want the width to be 80%. And then we got the form input. So let me scroll up. Export const form input equal to style.input backtick. And then I'm going to say padding to be 10 pixels by 20 pixels. Border dash radius to be 2 pixels. Margin dash right, I want that to be 10 pixels. Outline, I want that to be none. And then let's do border to be none. And then font dash size will be 16 pixels. And then border colon 1 pixel solid hashtag FFF. And then pretty much good here. So now let's go back to footer.js. And let's import these. So let's do form and then form input, save it. And let's see what is going on here. So I think, let me go back. All right, so let me make sure I put everything properly. Oh, I did forget one thing too on the form input. Let's go underneath here first. Back to form input, let's do and colon placeholder. Curly brace, let's say color. So that equal to hashtag 242424. And then let's do and media screen and max dash width to be 820 pixels. And then let's do width of 100%. And then margin 0, 0, 16 pixels and 0. So now we have this little error here. And let me see what's happened here. So footer.js. Let me make sure I got everything properly. So we got container, subscription, subheading, and then I got the subtext. And then we have the form, which is right here. Then we have the form input. So name equals email, type email, placeholder your email. Oh, so it's not closed. That's why. Okay. And so yeah, that's why it shouldn't be to opening total. It should just be a closing sub-closing tag. All right, perfect. Now we fixed it. A little debug action, but now we got the little email form thing right here. Perfect. So now underneath the footer, let's see, we have the footer container. Underneath the actual footer subscription. So still in the footer container, I want to create one called footer links container. Make sure you're spelling everything right. And then inside the footer links container, I'm gonna have a footer links wrapper. And then in here, I'm gonna have the footer links items. And this should have the opening closing tags here. Let me erase it and close it there. All right, perfect. Now we have the footer link items, and then I wanna have the footer link title, and this is going to be about us. So in case you're confused, these are what we're making: the about us, contact us video, literally these things right here. So now let me close this out, go back, and then we have underneath the footer link title, let's do footer link, and these are essentially the React router link tags. I just styled them up. So I'm going to say 2 equals code slash sign dash up, then close it out, say how it works, and then I can basically just copy this down. So let me do Shift Alt down arrow 1, 2, 3, 4, And then for these, let me just collect or highlight these and just take these things off here. And then here we can just update these. So I can just say like testimonials. Let's do careers. And then here we got, let's see, investors. And then let's do terms of service. All right, so now to save our lives and make it way easier, I'm gonna select the footer title all the way down to the last footer link. And then I'm gonna copy this. And let me see, make sure I have it right before I screw this up. Footer link items, I bet. All right, so select these, then go here, copy this, and then go under the footer link items and copy that again. So that's 2, 3, and then let's do 4. All right. So we can go in and actually, let's just edit it for now since we're here. So let's just do, second one is contact us. And then let's just keep these for now and just edit those later. This one's videos. And then this last one is social media. So this is like a big chunk of the footer besides the social media links. So now we actually got to save this. And now it's going crazy. So let's go ahead and just add in all of the stuff we just put in. So let's go to the footer elements. And let's see, we got the footer links container. Let's start with that one. So underneath here, export const footer links container equal to, let me close this out, style.div backtick, and that's going to say width to be 100%. You should get rid of that. Let's do max dash width to be 1000 pixels, display to be flex, justify content to be centered, add media screen, and max dash width to be 820 pixels, padding dash top to be 32 pixels. And then we're done with that one. So I'll go outside this backtick, and then let's do export, what was happening? Export const footer links wrapper. Then set that equal to style.div backtick. And let's see, we got display flex, and then we got at media screen and max dash width colon 820 pixels, and then flex direction to be column. Okay. And then outside of this, what's happening? So this for the links, let's do export const footer link items. So let me make sure I put these right. Footer link and footer link item. Let me make sure if I spell these. Footer link items and then footer links. Oh yeah, okay. So this is the actual container part, and then eventually we'll have the yeah, so let's just do this for now. So equal to style.div backtick. Let's do display flex direction column, align items to be flex start, margin 16 pixels, text dash align to be left, width to be 160 pixels, box dash sizing, border dash box, and then let's do color hashtag FF, and then at media screen and parentheses max dash width colon, let's do 420 pixels, margin 0, padding 10 pixels, and then width 100%. No one keeps autoing, but alright, so we got the footer links items. Now let's do export const footer link title. And I know this might be a lot of code, but we're gonna, once we're done with this, you'll see like what we just created. And then you pretty much will have a template forever, and you can just edit that for now. So let's do margin dash bottom 16 pixels. And then let's do export const footer link equal to styled. And this is the React router link, so I have to put in parentheses and then backticks. And then we're just gonna say color hashtag FFF. Text decoration to be none, margin dash bottom to be 0.5 rem, and then outside of that, but still inside of it, we're gonna have a hover. So and colon hover curly brace. So we have color, and it'll be hashtag 0467 FB, and then let's do transition of 0.3s ease dash out. So save that there, and then let's see, I need to import the link at the top, so let's do that. So scroll up and let's do import link from react dash router DOM, save it here, and then let's see what else I have. Let's footer link, that footer link title. Yeah, I can't tell. So let's do so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's import these 5 for now, and then we'll come back. So now back on the regular footer JS. Then I'm just gonna simply just go here and let's just do. We got form input. Let's do footer links container. Let's do footer links wrapper. Footer. Let's see, link. What else we got? Links items, and then let's do footer links or footer link title. So let's say that's 4, and then just footer link. Let's save it now. Footer links item. Footer links item. Did we export that from here? Let's see. Footer link item. Okay. Save it now. Actually, hold on. We got a footer links item and then a footer. What is it saying? Footer links. So it should be footer links items and then footer link. Okay. All right. So now let me scroll down, see our masterpiece. Oh, so much stuff, but so far we got this going. And now we just got to do some more editing to the actual code and just change up some things. So let me make sure I have all the, yeah, we should be good in terms of that. The responsive part, I think we have to edit that eventually. But for now, let's just keep it like this. So let's just finish up the footer. So let me go back to our VS Code and let me go to, let's see, the footer. Let me command B this really quick, and let's go to the bottom, and let me see if yeah, this one should be, yeah, it shouldn't be like this. Let me make sure I have the proper wrap. So footer AC footer links container, footer links. Yes, I'll worry about that later. We'll fix that later, but for now let's just go ahead and let's add some more stock components. So under the footer links container, under here, I'm gonna call this one social media. And then here I'm gonna have a social media wrap. And then inside the social media wrap, I'm gonna have a social logo, which is just gonna be a link instead of equal to /. And then in here I'll have the social icon, and this is actually a self-closing tag, and then it's going to be ultra for the logo. And then under the logo, right under here, but still in the social media wrap, we're going to have, let's do website rights, and let's just say ultra, and then ultra, let's just say 2020. And I have the copyright logo, so if you have that, you can do it. But if you don't, just leave it out. It doesn't really matter. So I'll just keep it there. And then outside of the website rights, let me Command B this. We'll have social icons, so social icons with an S. And then in here we'll have the social icon link, which is basically just going to be just a tag since we're linking outside of the file. So if you are linking internally, you can use a React Router link, but since we're linking outside, it's better to use the a tag. And then target equals to quotes underscore blank, and this basically allows it to open on a new window. And then I just have already label, let's just say Facebook. And then close this out, and then in the link I'll just have FA Facebook, close this, and then I can pretty much just copy and paste this. So let's see, copy here, and then let's do it again, and then let's change this one to Instagram. So let's see, this will be Instagram, and then this will be FA Instagram. Now under that social icon link, we'll copy one again, and then this can be YouTube. So let's just put YouTube, and then let's see, what did I put for the yeah, it should be YouTube here too. And for the link, I'll just put my channel for this. So let's just put href equals to curly brace my YouTube link, and then I'll just include these in here. Rel equals to quotes no opener space no refer, and then inside the last social icon link we'll have two more. So we got actually, my bad, hold on, I should just copy this social icon link here and then paste it, and then let's do it again. So now we have, let's do, I think I have Twitter and LinkedIn. So Twitter, FA Twitter, and then we got LinkedIn. So let's do LinkedIn, and then let's do LinkedIn. All right, so here, and then looks like we're pretty much good on that end. So now when I save it, we're gonna have a bunch of errors. So first things first, I want to import the icons because they won't show unless we do. So I'm gonna say import curly brace FA Facebook, comma FA, should be FA Instagram, FA, let's see, YouTube, FA Twitter, and then FA LinkedIn. All right, so now we're gonna import this from React-icon/FA. So I save this, so now it's saying linked. Yeah, it should be a lowercase LinkedIn. So let me go down here, like this, and let's make this like that. Okay, and let me just make sure that's the correct. Yeah, that's correct. So now we just got to add all these into our style component. So now let's go to footer elements, and then let's go ahead and start styling this stuff. So go to the bottom, export cons, social media, and set that equal to style.div, or it should be section actually, section backticks, and then let's do max width to be 1000 pixels, width to be 100%, and then let's do export cons social media wrap, set that equal to style.div backticks, and let's do display flex, justify content space between, and let's do align dash items center. Let's do width 90%. I don't know why it keeps doing that. and then max width to be 1000 pixels, margin 40 pixels, auto 0 auto, and then underneath this we'll have at media screen and max width colon 820 pixels, and then let's do flex direction column. Okay, and then underneath the social media wrap we'll have export const social logo equal to style dot, or not dot, should be the link because we're doing React Router link, backticks, and then we're gonna say, let's see here, let's do color colon hashtag FFF, get rid of this, and then let's do justify self colon, let's do start, and then let's do cursor pointer text decoration to be none, font size let's do 2 rem, display is flex, align items is center, and let's do margin dash bottom is 16 pixels. And then under here let's do export const social icon equal to styled, and then we're going to pass in this icon, so FA magneto backticks, and then here we're going to say margin dash right equals to 10 pixels here, and then let's do export const website rights equals to style dot small, and then backtick, and then let's do color hashtag FFF, and then margin dash bottom to be 16 pixels. And then we got 2 more, so let's do export const social icons equals to style.div backtick, and I'll just say display flex justify content colon space between, and then align items should be colon center, and then width to be 240 pixels. And then outside that last one, exports const social icon link equals to style.a backtick color hashtag FFF, and font size will be 60 or 24 pixels. So now let's go back to the footer.js and let's import everything we just edited. So let's do social media wrap, social logo, website rights, let's do social icons, and then social icon link, and let's try social icon as well. So let me make sure I got 2 social icons and icon, I believe. So we got social icon and then social icon. Okay, yeah, perfect. All right, so boom. So it looks like on the first column there is something I need to fix in terms of the mobile responsive. So let me go to footer elements and let me check. It should be, let me make sure I got everything. So it should be footer links wrapper, display flex, max width flex direction column. So it looks like that's not wrapping. Or actually, let me check. And then we got margin 0 with 100%. Okay, that looks right. And everything else looks like it's not. So it might just be the wrapper is not wrapped around the right thing. So let me make sure. Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so go to footer.js and I have this footer links wrapper, right? But it's wrapped around everything. So I need it to be the first, second, go here, and then close and say footer links wrapper. And then press enter here, and then add a new one, opening tag, so footer links wrapper. But this one should be, the first one we added should be a closing footer links tag, because you want it to be only around these first two. So if I save it now, it should work. Oh yeah, there we go. So yeah, so basically it wraps just the first two column right here and this one, and then the other one's over here. So then I just go over, scroll it out like this, and then we have pretty much our footer. So only thing left is the pricing and then the just routes, because right now nothing looks good. So let me actually go ahead and let me just edit these footers so they just look better for us for now. And I'm just gonna copy and paste this from my code because I do not want to waste time like going through each little thing. So you can go here and edit yours, but I'm just gonna go and copy mine, so that way it'll just save us some time. And footer link items, let's see, I guess I named it wrong. Yeah, so I guess I named it footer link. So you don't have to worry about this. This is just my naming. And then I just gotta go to my elements. Let's see, footer link. Just take out the S here. That's how I named it in my actual code. So I just put the S. So it doesn't matter if you want, you just can edit this if you want to, but basically we have all these colored up. And then you can type in whatever you want in there. But now, let's go ahead and let me show you how to create the pricing component. And then also, I'll show you how to change the pages too. So the pricing, I'm not gonna spend too much time on this one because it's like just optional UI, and we've already done like 3 components already in terms of stock components. But I'm just gonna have it in here just in case, so you guys can go in and edit this. But pretty much, I'm just gonna straight up, I'll probably just copy and paste my code because I don't want to spend like it's literally gonna take me probably like an hour to just show you guys this, where you can just straight up copy and paste this and then look at the code itself. So let's just do pricing.js and a new file, pricing.elements.js. So here is standard, typical stuff you see from, I'm just gonna copy and paste. If you want this component, then you can go to my GitHub and get the code. If not, you can just watch and sit back for at least a couple of seconds just to take a break. But pretty much you can see here, it's typical stock components. And then only a little difference is like you can target like a specific thing here, but it's typical stock component stuff we've been doing. And then also for the actual JS, it's the same concept where I just paste this in here. And again, you can see similar to what we've been doing, and then you can just change all this stuff up here. And then I have the one thing I'll go over, everything else is pretty much the same except this icon context provider, which is from, and actually let me get rid of these so I'm not using these. These are pretty much actually did I? Yeah, I'm not using the Thunderbolt one yet. These are pretty much icon text from React Icons lib or live, and basically this allows us to set values on the icons in the entire JSX without having to manually sit here and put like color, like for whatever this icon, like color red, color white, size, whatever. I can just do it on the main top level, and then it, boom, everything's saved. So if I go, and then I can just add this. Let me just put it on like a, let's go to home. So if you copy the code, you can just go to home on the home pages, and then I can just say like pricing components. And let's see if mine loads. You can press it there, and then boom. And see the difference if I don't do the index / part. So I go here and I gotta go to index.js, and let me just go up here and just export pricing. And I should have, let me copy this. I should just say pricing here. And instead of having to do this like all this / component / pricing, I can just straight up put a comma here, say pricing, and then delete this line here, and it should work. So now if I go back, scroll it out, nice, you got a clean little pricing thing here. So I might make a separate video outside of this tutorial where I just do this from scratch, Let me know if you want to see that, but for now I guess I'll just save us some time because this video is already like super long. And now you can see we have our code up like this. So now one thing we need to do is set up React Router to where we can switch the pages. So pretty much now, let's do Command B. Let's go to our pages and then let's just recreate all of our stuff here. So let's just go ahead and technically, yeah, let me just redo it myself manually. So go to pages, we'll do a new folder. Let's just call this one services. And then inside the services, I have a new file, just call this one, just do services.js. So let me right click again. Services.js. And then we'll have a new file in services folder, data.js here. And then let's do this for the last two pages. So right click pages again, new folder. Let's do products. And then in products, we'll do new file, products.js. And then new file here will be data.js. And then last page, we'll do new folder. Let's call this one sign up. And then new file here, sign up.js. And then new file here, and let's do data.js. So what we can do here is actually go to the data file, Command A and Command C, and then just paste this into all of the data files for our pages, just to save us some time. So you can see there. And then we can go to our home.js. You can copy this. And ideally you would make your own components in separate, but since this is an example, I'm just gonna paste everything in here. And then I'm gonna just take out like this one here, for instance. And then this one here, and let's save it. And then let's go to services, let me Command B, and then let me put the pricing at the top, like this. And looks like these two can go, actually these three, save it here. And then for the sign up, I'm just gonna copy and paste the home stuff again. And then let's just do like this one. Actually, let's do 3. And then let's get rid of this and rid of that. All right, perfect. So now what we need to do now is go to app.js and then basically import these components. So pretty much I'm just gonna do Alt Shift down arrow. So we got services, products, sign up. Path is going to be services. Component is gonna come from the services component. Here we're gonna have the products, and then you guessed it, the products component, and then here's going to be sign dash up as a path, and this is coming from the sign up pages. And pretty much now what I'm gonna do is import all of this. So we got home already imported for me. Under home, let's do import services from dot slash pages slash services slash services. And then let's just do the copy and paste them down. Let me just do Command D and just change this to products. And then let's change this one to sign up. So now if I save, sign up.js does not match the corresponding name on this. So let's see what happened here. Yes, I'm not sure why that's not working. So let me just rename this. Let's just do sign dash up. And then let me import sign up from sign dash up. Let me see if this does anything. So it looks like it's the component. Oh, okay. I knew why. Gosh, it's because I didn't, the casing. All right, so that's important. So this should be sign capital U. Okay, it's about to go crazy. And that should, if I go back to app.js, that should do it now. All right, perfect. All right, that one little letter made this entire app crash. All right, so now we have we're on the sign up. So now, okay, let's go home. So here's the home page, services, okay, products, and then sign up. And then let's check. And there's still an issue that if you haven't noticed yet, so mobile works fine, that's good. Sign up works, home works, and the logo. Looks like the logo isn't doing it. Ah, okay, so let me actually go back to the components, Navbar.js. I might have to add a click on the nav logo. So let's do that. Let's try that. Click equals to click. Let's see if this works. So if that doesn't, actually, hold on. Let's do on click equals to handle click. And let me see if this does it. All right, perfect. Okay, so go back to Navbar.js component and add a on click handle click function, and then on click. Actually, I don't even think you need the click. Let me check. Let me see if you need the click first. Actually, yeah, you just need the handle click basically on there, and then that should make it to where it closes that way too, and that should bring it to home. All right, perfect. Oh, that's an issue actually. Now, okay, now I see the issue here. So let's do this. So this is an issue that I realized. This is why we need the close mode menu instead, because then this is actually going to make it worse in terms of yeah, so there we go here. So we'd have to create a close mode menu function for that instead. So let's actually do that here now, since we're here already. And let me go to Navbar.js, and pretty much here, let's go and do const close mobile menu equal to parentheses equal to error function set click to false. And then now I just pretty much need to pass in this onto the nav logo, and we're going to say on click equal to curly braces close mobile menu. Save it. So now let me see. Let me make sure. All right, perfect. So now it works there, and it looks like we're doing good that. And now there's still like one little thing I need to add. So I bring it here, closes, bring it here. Oh, it's perfect. Okay. So now if you notice, there's one little issue that we have. If we go like the bottom of the page and we switch it, like we're literally, you can't see it, but like we're at the bottom, like we're in the place we want it to go back to the top. So the way we're going to do this is Command B. Let's create this in the components folder. So right click components, and let's just call this one scroll to top.js. And then in here, let's just do this. Let's import use effect from React, and let's do import use location from React router DOM. And if you're wondering where I get this is literally from the React router docs on how to make it scroll to the top. And let's just say export default function scroll to top parentheses curly brace const, let's just say path name equals to use location parentheses, and let's say use effect parentheses. I'm going to pass in an arrow function in here, and then curly brace, and then inside these curly brace I'm going to say window dot scroll to, I want it to scroll to 0, 0, and then inside of the parentheses but outside the curly brace I want this to say pass in the path name for a dependency here, and then under this parentheses I'm just going to return null. So right now nothing's going to happen yet. We got to go to our actual app.js file, and then let's add this here. So let's go app.js, let's do it right under GlobalStyles. Let's just say scroll to top, and it auto imports when I press enter. If not, just do /component/scroll to top. And now hopefully if we did everything correctly, boom, go to the bottom, let's just go here, services at the top, products at the top, sign up at the top, and then when we're mobile, close out, products is there, signups there, services, we're still at the top, home, I can scroll down here, let's check service, boom, and then we're back here. So looking like everything is working perfect, and we got everything going on, looks responsive. And then the one thing too I just need to add is this simple thing from the fonts, just to make it a little better. And again, you can do this if you want to, but I'm just gonna import this on the index right here. You can get this on the GitHub if you want to, but in the head tag, I'm just pasting in the source as pro, and it just changes the font here. So this pretty much completes the video. So if you did enjoy this, go and give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Feel free to refactor the code, make it better. Any suggestions, feedback is always welcome. And comment down below what you think, and feel free to share this with your friends if they will find some value in this. And if you again are new to the channel, I'm pretty much documenting myself learning code and just sharing with you stuff that I'm building. And if you want to follow on that journey, then definitely subscribe. And without further ado, I will see you in the next video. Peace.